Episode number 194. Didn't Taze give you the best out of our gardens? I told him to. I didn't know that. He forgot, I suppose, and, as your grandpa was poorly, I didn't like to worry him by asking, though I did want some. Now, Joe, how could you think there was any need of asking? They're just as much yours as mine. Don't we always go halves in everything? Began Laurie, in the tone that always made Joe turn thorny. Gracious, I hope not. Half of some of your things wouldn't suit me at all. But we mustn't stand philandering here. I've got to help Amy, so you go and make yourself splendid, and if you'll be so very kind as to let Taze take a few nice flowers up to the hall, I'll bless you forever. Couldn't you do it now? Asked Laurie, so suggestively that Joe shut the gate in his face with inhospitable haste, and called through the bars, "Go away, Teddy, I'm busy." Thanks to the conspirators, the tables were turned that night, for Hayes sent up a wilderness of flowers, with a lovely basket arranged in his best manner for centerpiece. Then the March family turned out en masse, and Joe exerted herself to some purpose, for people not only came, but stayed, laughing at her nonsense, admiring Amy's taste, and apparently enjoying themselves very much. Laurie and his friends gallantly threw themselves into the breach, bought up the bouquets, and camped before the table, and made that corner the liveliest spot in the room. Amy was in her element now, and out of gratitude, if nothing more, was as sprightly and gracious as possible, coming to the conclusion, about that time, that virtue was its own reward, after all. Joe behaved herself with exemplary propriety, and when Amy was happily surrounded by her guard of honor, Joe circulated about the hall, picking up various bits of gossip, which enlightened her upon the subject of a Chester change of pace. She reproached herself for her share of ill feeling, and resolved to exonerate Amy as soon as possible. She also discovered what Amy had done about the things in the morning, and considered her a model of magnanimity. As she passed their table, she glanced over it for her sister's things, but saw no sign of them. Tucked away out of sight, I dare say, thought Joe, who could forgive her own wrongs, but hotly resented any insult offered her family. "Good evening, Miss Joe. How does Amy get on?" asked May with a conciliatory air, for she wanted to show that she also could be generous. "She has sold everything she had that was worth selling, and now she's enjoying herself. The flower table is always attractive, you know, especially to gentlemen." Joe couldn't resist giving that little slap, but May took it so meekly she regretted it a minute after, and fell to praising the great vases, which still remained unsold. "Is Amy's illumination anywhere about? I took a fancy to buy that for father," said Joe, very anxious to learn the fate of her sister's work. "Everything of Amy's sold long ago. I took care that the right people saw them, and they made a nice little sum of money for us," returned May, who had overcome sundry small temptations, as well as Amy had, that day. Much gratified, Joe rushed back to tell the good news, and Amy looked both touched and surprised by the report of May's word and manner.